Dave here with Half Dozen Customs. Back out here the next day. It's a little afternoon, and I'm going to work on getting this piece here made. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to just try and make this out of one piece. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this curve in here so that we match. I'm just going to go straight across with the curve, and then I'm thinking I'll throw it in the shrinker, and we'll see if we can get it to start curving. If not, then we'll have to figure something else out, but that's where I'm going to start. Too much of a bend. Okay, I just put the curve in the middle. You know, we need a flat edge here and a flat edge here. So I didn't run the whole piece through there. I just kept it right in the center. So let's see if we're pretty close. Look at that, I think that's it right there. So I'm gonna take a little off this edge. Let's just put some. Just gonna put some reference marks in here. Okay. These two fat reference marks are just. I marked out the panel just so that we know, like, that's, you know, roughly where I want it to sit on the fender. I'm gonna take these bottom two marks, I'm gonna take that off, and then we'll start running it through the shrinker and just see what it wants to do. I really don't think that we're gonna get this to curve how I want it. I think I might have to use we're gonna have to sandbag it and plenishing hammer and all that good stuff. So I left a little extra on there. I couldn't see my marks. I marked it on the wrong side. So this is the top. Let's mark so we don't forget. All right, let's see. Like I said, I do not think that this is gonna curve. No, I think I need to manually shrink this. And if that's the case, I don't have a tool for that, so we're gonna have to make one real quick. Okay, so where I left off, I said that wasn't gonna work, and we were gonna have to make a tool that I don't have. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a tucking tool, and then what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to tuck the end here. And then we'll have to hammer them out, and that should get us, hopefully that'll start to give us our curve that we need here. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna make a tucking tool. I already marked these where I want them. These are just some steel spikes. Huge like nails that I think the nail head has been cut off of. A few years back, I ended up getting a chisel set. Came in a nice case full of chisels from a friend of mine who passed away, and these spikes were in there. So what he was using them for, I don't know. But we're gonna cut these off. I'm gonna put them in the drill press. We'll get them spinning. I'm gonna hit them with the grinder, and we'll grind them down into a nice spike. And then these will get they'll get kind of welded together. When we grind it down to a nice spike, it'll be a nice straight edge in here, but they'll kind of get welded together on an angle like this with a T handle that you can grab and put your tucks in with. So I'm gonna put these in the vise over there. We're gonna get them cut, and then we're gonna put them in the drill press, and I'll start grinding them into a nice round spike. So yeah, let's start with that, I guess. Make some tools. I like making tools. Oh, I'll just do one at a time instead of fighting trying to make two. Okay, so yeah, we got two little spikies made. You guys died right as I was getting ready to set them down. They were a little on the warm side, so put them down to cool off. I switched out your guys' battery. I'm looking for the other spike guide that I cut off. Where did he go? To have hit the ground somewhere. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Lost cause, I think. I don't know where that went, but I guess we can just use this one. No big deal. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find center on this. Before I find center on this, stick it in here. We'll just round up the edges so we don't have a sharp edge that's digging in our hand. Ooh, look at the wobble on that guy. That wobble in there, that's not working how I want it to. Got half of it. do this guy by hand. Just rounding off the edge so that it's not a sharp edge like that. We're going to mark center on this, and we're going to kind of bend it into a slight V anyway, so I could care less that it has a bend or a wobble in it. Let's see if that wobble goes away being the other direction. Doubt it. Still a wobbler. Gets half the job done. Good enough. So, let's see if we can find center. So, marked center on here. Now we're just gonna stick it in the vise. Oh, here's the other one that I was looking for. Still in the vise, never hit the ground. Ah, well. So I'm gonna clamp it right at my mark. Bent her into a V like that. Okay. Get the welder over here. Okay, so now the idea is to try and center these. Sound like I have a gas. Crap balls. I was worried that was gonna happen. I broke the weld when I was trying to smack it over with the hand. Come on. Quickly. Getting hot. I can't do it. these so that they don't, hopefully don't bend super easy. Can of oil sitting outside here. We're gonna go drop these in the can of oil. I'm sorry, but my hands are gonna be full. I can't carry you with me. Quickly. Run fast, run fast. So I would like to get those a little hotter, but I don't have a proper torch set for doing that. But just dropped it in a can of oil. So now we'll just let that chill and cool off for a little while, and hopefully it'll have enough heat treat to it that it won't bend so easy when I'm using it. I've never had one of these tools. I've never made one of these tools. You know, like I said, I just used some scrap spikes that I had to make it. You've seen how we made it. And I just don't want to, I didn't make those spikes super long, just for that reason, so that way when we're cranking on them, it's not bending them. When you do these tucks, you bend it one way and then you flip it around, you bend it the other way. So even if you are getting a little bend out of them, you know, each time you're bending it back because you're bending both directions. But eventually, you know, that's going to create a weak spot. I mean, I have tons of those spikes. If it works for a few jobs and then I got to remake them, you know, hey, I'm okay with that. But, you know, throw a little heat treat on it. Maybe I'll make them a little stronger. Maybe they won't bend so easy. So I'm going to shut you guys down while I'm letting that cool. And I know last time I was in the house and talking to the wife, she was going to start cooking lunch. So I'm just waiting for a call from her saying that lunch is ready. So I'll see you guys when we're ready to start trying to tuck this panel and see if we can get this thing to bend. So see you guys in a little bit. Okay, I'm back. I let them cool off a little bit. I'll set you guys back over here. I let it cool off. You know, it's cooled off to the touch now. Excuse me. And it worked. I tried it on a scrap piece of metal. And it worked. It put my tuck in there like I wanted. But they did move on me. They did bend a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run my weld down in between here just a little bit farther, and hopefully hopefully we'll put a little strength in it, because it seemed to me that it bent right at the base by the weld. So now it didn't bend horribly, and like I said before, like, you know, I tucked it one way and it bent the thing, it bent the tool, and then I tucked it back the other way and it kind of straightened itself out. But it wasn't, you know, I needed to do more than one tuck. drop it back in the oil again. Oh, it's still hot from the weld. Let's go. Alright, let's let this cool off a little bit. It's still pretty warm. Set it on the cold ground, let it cool off, and then we'll try to do another tuck. So So you can see with this piece of metal here, with the tuck, so we put the tuck in here. This was a flat piece of metal, and now you can see that it's starting to put the curve up in this area here. Now we need a few more tucks in here, but you know, if it was, hopefully you guys can you guys see? So we would need a couple more tucks in here to get this to start to fold right. But once you get that tuck in there, you want to just smash the tip. You don't want to smash the whole thing, just the tip. So now we smash that tip in there. Now we locked it in. So now that you locked it in, we can go ahead and smash the rest of it out. So now you can see we smashed that tuck out, but because we locked that tuck in at the tip here, that metal had nowhere to go but to stretch it. So, you know, we got a small tuck right here. I'll do the same thing. So now we're starting to get a compound curve. You can see that it's bent this way, but it's also bending this way. So maybe you can see it from this side. So it's starting to bend this way. So we do enough tucks in there, and we'll get our bend this way, and we'll get our bend this way. And then once you do that, you can run it through the plenishing hammer or the English wheel, and we can start to get it nice and straight, nice and flat, you know. Oh, wait. Should probably have my gloves on for this. So, but you can just see with that little bit of work, you know, we're starting to get all those hammer marks. Like, I still got a couple up here at the top of the tuck if I was to run in a little bit more, but it took out all my hammer marks. It's pretty nice and flat up here at that edge now. You know, a little bit more work, I could have all those hammer marks out of there, and she would look good. So hopefully with this tool, she's still hot. Hopefully with this tool I can start to get the compound curve in here. So what we're gonna have to do is right here where I tried to shrink it, because we need this to curve over this way. So we're gonna have to put 2 or 3 shrinks in here, and we're gonna have to smash them, close them off, flatten them out. We may have to do it on both sides to start to get the curve. Now remember, I need you know, this has to stay flat, this has to stay flat. We just need this tip to kind of start to curve over. So hopefully with a little tuck in, a little hammering, worst case scenario, I don't have a sandbag, but what you can do is you can take one of the large, if you have a good set of large leather welding gloves, you can fill this up with sand and then clamp off the end, duct tape it, whatever you want to do to close off the end, and then you have a little makeshift sandbag. So so if we need to do some sandbagging, we can. I'm hoping that the tucks and then running it through here, you know, we'll be good to go. So, but we will have to see. The wife was just out here and said that lunch is ready, so I'm gonna go in and eat some lunch, and we'll let this tool cool off, and hopefully with those little welds that I just put in there, it stops bending. I kind of figured that, you know, making that tool, it's probably best to use hardened steel to do it. I know that those spikes aren't hardened steel, that's why I heated it up and tried to heat treat it. And like I said, it didn't bend like partway through it bent down by the weld, and that's why I ran that weld up a little higher. Hopefully we solve that problem. So, but we'll see. I'll see you guys in a little bit, and hopefully we can make something happen. Okay, so we're back. I let this tool cool off a little bit. Wife has not radioed me about lunch yet, so okay. So this is the piece that I have bent up already. So you can see we have some tucks in here now. Center one up a little bit more. Okay, so we have some tucks in there, and you can see that it's we're starting to get our curve in there. So we're gonna close the ends. And that would be lunch. Okay, so we close the ends there. You can see we still have our bubbles in there. So we close the ends. Now we're gonna hammer those bubbles out. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it, but we're starting to get a curve there. So we're just gonna have to keep tucking, keep hammering those tucks out, keep tucking, keep hammering those tucks out, until I hopefully start to get a curve here. So we'll get it one way or the other. Like I said, even if I gotta do it in a couple pieces. Tips out. Okay, starting to get more of a curve there. We got a lot farther to go, but it's kind of starting to do what I need it to do. So, and we may have to, I can see that my roll in here that we had in here previously is starting to flatten out a little bit, and that's where either the sandbag is going to come in, or we may run this through the plenishing hammer a little bit and just stretch that back out to put that curve back in there. So like I said, we got twice now I've snagged myself on that. Better off on the ground. So we got a long ways to go, but we're starting to get that curve in there. So the tough part is going to be getting the curve in here, which is where I think the plenishing hammer or maybe a little sandbag action will start to go. So we'll just keep working until either I destroy the piece or it fits. All right, lunchtime. Thanks for joining me.